welcome to DC Daily. I'm Amy Dallin, and I am here with Whitney Moore and Sam Humphries. Hey, guys!
Hello. Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? How you doing?
I'm very excited because this month marks Catwoman's 80th anniversary.
What? No way. That is crazy. What a milestone.
We found the perfect way to celebrate.
Very good, Amy. Very good.
We've gone back to read the Copycats arc, the beginning arc of Joëlle Jones's Catwoman. But not only that, we're going to deep dive into that comic. And then, Whitney, you are going to interview Joëlle Jones.
I'm so excited. I love her. I can't wait to hear what she has to say about this book.
All right, here's what we have to say about this book, though. What did y'all think?
Dude, I love Copycats. My favorite line out of, I think, the whole book was, I love in issue 2 when she meets all of the hired, like, cosplayers and actors that are wearing the old version of her costume. And my favorite line is she kind of roughhouses a little bit with one of the fake cats. And she's like, oh, no, I'm just an actor. I was hired to do this. And she's like, all right, enough already. Like, even Catwoman hates actors. I'm like, damn, it hurts, but...
What a defining characteristic for Catwoman. One thing I really loved in this story was that, of course, this is coming out of the Bat wedding where Catwoman left Batman at the altar. Crazy thing, and now we catch up with Catwoman, what she's been doing ever since. I love the fact that she's been so like emotionally torn up by this that she can't sleep, but because she's drawn by Joëlle Jones, she still looks great. That's not something many people can pull off, so kudos to Selena.
Honestly, just on so many levels, this is so much fun to read, and it's just so beautiful. Like, it sounds obvious to say, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous comic. I think some of my favorite parts are just Catwoman going over the rooftops.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Looks like the platonic ideal of herself. And it does have that wonderful setup that we get into here where her neighbors, that beautiful piece of advice is given where they're like, you can love a stray, but don't get attached.
Oh, I know.
It hurts.
It's a lesson you can hear, but you have to learn it yourself, right?
Can we talk about the villain, too? Because, oh my god, it is so scary. It's straight out of a horror movie. Raina Creel is... So there's something about just old, decrepit, rich white ladies that just it makes your soul chilled.
Yeah.
And I want to point out, I was thinking about this. So many good villains don't have noses. Think about it. We got Voldemort. We got Red Skull. We got Raina Creel. I feel like there's something, no hair and no nose.
What I love is that I feel like we don't get enough gross lady villains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm all for the sexy lady villains, but we, like, more monster ladies, more gross ladies, more scary ladies. I love it. I love that this has been added to the toolbox.
And that's something that Joëlle spoke about, like, in interviews and stuff, that she really wanted to break away from the sexy lady villain stereotype. And she really did it with this one. It was so crazy, that one page where you first see Raina, like, pulling herself apart, like, bit by bit. I love that page so much because Joëlle Jones, she's not just the artist of this book, she's also the writer. And there's something really special that happens when you have one person doing both, is that you get these really special moments that an artist and a writer as separate people would maybe not come up with. But with one person, you get a sequence like that. Or you get those amazing, beautiful sequences of her just running off rooftops like you were talking about, Amy. So it is so cool to see that dynamic at play here. And I wish on more superhero books, we had more books that were done by the same person as writer and artist.
Yeah.
Not me, though. I can't draw, so I'm out.
I would like to see you give it your best effort.
Yeah, you'd love to see it until you saw it, and then you wouldn't love it anymore.
I think she brings extra design sense to that stuff as of combining the writing idea and the art idea. And I think she also brings a perspective we don't always see. Not to put it out there, but not everybody who's working on comics even knows what false eyelashes are, much less how to use them for an effective horror beat.
Yeah. Sure.
We saw it in her brilliant design for Catwoman's dress as well, in this new costume, which I really love. When she takes the top part off and it's just a hoodie shrug, it's incredible.
So good. You gotta have armpit ventilation.
It's very important when you're swinging over those rooftops. You know, overall, I really just love the sense of melancholy in this story because it's so hard to do. It's a breakup story, but this was like a really, really good breakup song. And I loved like sitting in that mood with Selena.
It hurts so good.
This Catwoman is so awesome, melancholy and beautiful and perfect, but the deep dive isn't over. Whitney, it's time to interview Joëlle Jones.
I'm so excited. I have wanted to meet her for so long, so I'm so excited to talk to her. I am so excited to welcome to the show the mega talented comic book artist and writer, Joëlle Jones. Joëlle, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are things going in Portland?
It's good. Yeah, bizarre.
Keeping busy? Are you doing anything? Are you working on any projects right now to stay busy?
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of Catwoman covers and pinups, and then I'm working on a project that's kind of top secret at the same time.
I would like to see those. Is there anything that you can show us?
I've got a pinup that it's not very far in the inking process.
Oh, it's so cool to see the beginning stages of that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I do I pencil digitally, and then I'll print it out in blue line, and then I do inks on top.
That is so cool. Are you revisiting any old DC comics or movies while we have this nice time at home?
You know, I have. I bugged DC to send me all the George Perez Wonder Woman big omnibuses. It's taking forever, but I've never read them. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it, actually.
I think that I have... Yes, I actually do have the omnibus also, but it's propping my laptop up right now. She's a true hero.
Yeah, it's big enough. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about George Perez's Wonder Woman, specifically the art. What is your favorite feature about that?
I've always been curious about it because he wrote and drew it as well. I'm really enjoying how epic it really is. But there's a shorthand that he has without having to explain too much. He relies on the art to do a lot of storytelling, which I really enjoy. So it's not overly wordy or overly explained to the audience. If you're not paying attention, you miss some of the details of the story. And I just totally dig that.
Yeah, and it's the kind of art that rewards a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth reading.
Yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. So we just talked about your Catwoman run and how independent she is now. Do you think that she could have lived happily ever after with Bruce, or is she kind of meant to be on her own?
You know, I think it's tricky to put her in one category or the other. I think the thing I love about Catwoman is her duplicity. And I think she could try for a while, but then would want to go out on her own and have her own adventure. I think, you know, she walks a fine line.
So that's interesting. Do you think that an ideal version of Catwoman would get to have both?
Yeah, I would think so. I think she would want both. You know, I think, well, most people would too, you know.
She's a woman who deserves it all.
Yeah, you can't hang out with Batman all the time.
It's true. Yeah, you need to go take some diamonds every once in a while for fun.
You can do something a little more uplifting for a time, and then you can go back to it.
So when you took on this project, what goals did you set for yourself when you learned that you were going to take on Catwoman? Did you have an idea of where you wanted to take her as a character?
Not so much at first. I think I didn't know that a lot of people, I tried not to think that a lot of people would be reading it. So I was just trying to really entertain myself and see a side of Catwoman that I hadn't before. So kind of really getting into her and her problem solving and how she would resolve things after leaving Bruce. You know, when I realized people were responding to it, I was able to kind of go further with that and dig more into her character, which I had so much fun doing.
I love that. And, you know, I hear that answer a lot with comic book creators. Is sometimes the best thing that we see is what the creator would like to see the characters do. And so I'm so happy to hear that answer from you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not entertained yourself, you're not going to have a good time, and I think it shows.
That's very true. So you not only drew, but you also wrote a lot of these Catwoman issues. What was that like? How did you pace yourself? What was your workflow like?
It was full on, nonstop. It was rough. I'm definitely not used to it. I think it was my first time doing it. I'd write the day I would draw it. You know, I knew what I was going to do for the issue. And then kind of the ins and outs, it was just like, nope, no time to think about it. Just go. What do you want to draw? I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
So it all just kind of happened at once.
Yeah. As long as I kept being in the story and getting excited about the next page I just kept going with that feeling. So
well, it worked so well. We loved it. It was so nice revisiting these issues. But you have drawn so many characters. You've drawn Catwoman, Supergirl, Batgirl, so many others. Do you have a favorite to draw?
I don't know. I mean, is it terrible to say Catwoman? Because
no, it's the right answer.
I mean, it's the honest answer. I really love drawing her the most.
And it's also the birthday girl, so you kind of have to pick Catwoman.
Yeah, she's a blast to draw. They let me play with her old costumes, which was so fun for me. And I really wanted to celebrate all the time that she's had and all the different looks and personalities. And yeah, I can't get enough drawing her.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Catwoman is a character that changes her outfit a lot, and it does have to do a lot with where she is emotionally at the time, what has happened in her life, and I feel like that's got to be so fun to echo in your writing as well.
It's a blast. I mean, I can't imagine Catwoman wearing the same outfit all the time. You know, I love the idea that she evolves and kind of reflects the time, and then, you know, some other artist is going to pop in and change the outfit and keep it going. It's a fun game of telephone.
Okay, so while we were talking about different iterations of Catwoman and the catsuit and all of the wonderful clothes she's worn, do you have a favorite in comics?
When I started, I thought I did. I adore the goggles costume so much, and I really thought I hated the dress the most. But I wanted to draw the dress to prove I could do it, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it turns out the dress ended up being my absolute favorite.
It's so cool, and it's so her.
And it's really dramatic, and it's so good for storytelling and movement. And I think it's like why Superman wears a cape. It adds so much more dimension when things are moving.
I've never thought about that, but that's so true. It adds a swing, and it adds movement, and so of course that would be compelling. Yeah, and it's drama. Yes, we love it. Okay, how about expanding it not just to comics, but all of media? Do you have a favorite iteration of Catwoman?
Yeah, I think it's Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Yes. I mean, the cartoon's a close second.
And also what Michelle Pfeiffer did with that character, like, mwah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So let's talk a little bit about your redesign of the catsuit. We were just talking about how much we love it. Where did you start with that?
Yeah, it was funny. I was just playing around. I enjoy looking at fashion a lot, and I noticed a lot of shrugs were happening, a lot of yokes. I thought that could actually be really useful. And with the cutouts, I could draw Catwoman very, very small, and you could still connect the dots and get a gesture line visually from it and see what's going on. I kind of started there and just wanted to harken back to a different side of Selina Kyle and Catwoman in the costume itself.
Yeah, I love that you pointed that out because she is fashionable. Like, she does have wonderful taste. She always, even when she's out of a suit, always is looking bomb. She has a great sense of style. And so, of course, that would transfer into the catsuit. And we love armpit ventilation. You know, she's got to stay limber. She's got to be able to use her full range of motion. And so it also makes sense for the character, which we love.
Yeah, it's all vinyl. You can't move your arms in that.
It's true. I have tried. Okay, so while we were talking about these first few issues of Catwoman, I want to talk more about the villain, Raina Creel, because we could not get enough of her. She's so spooky and gross, and Amy was just talking about how we really don't get to see gross women very much in stuff, and so walk me through designing this character, please.
I love designing her, and yeah, I kind of thought of the same thing. If there's not a lot of female villains that are gross, they're always really sexy, and then they turn out to be good people, or they have, you know, a goodness in them. And I was really tired of that. I wanted somebody really bad. And this idea of a woman sort of drugged up and afraid of aging to the point of mania, I find that terrifying. And, you know, somebody power hungry and that's destroyed their own body and they chose to do so. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joëlle. You are such a treat. We love this comic, and I can't wait to see more from you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoy talking with you guys.
Guys, she's the best.
That was so cool. Wendy, great job.
Thank you. I love Joëlle Jones. I stan even harder now.
That is it for us today, but you have an amazing choice, which is to go read these issues. You can read issues 1 through 6, the storyline we're talking about of Joëlle Jones' Catwoman on DC Universe right now. So go do that. And as for us, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Do it.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Wow, bye.